Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first show of The Late Hit. I'm Matt Foster. Alongside me, Chad Simpson, Robert Haberman. Don't try to spell Haberman. He goes by Habe, H-A-B-E. As this is our first show, please bear with us. We're going to try to figure this out. If you can learn with us, that would be fantastic. Follow us on Twitter while you've got your smartphone out, at The Late Hit 317. Give us a hashtag of The Late Hit, hashtag Late Hit Zone. Also, you can follow us on YouTube. You'll get that figured out easy enough. Gentlemen, welcome to the first show.
Welcome. I'm excited. Glad you joined us.
I'm pumped. You pumped?
We're pumped.
We're pumped. We are based out of Central Indiana. You can probably guess that by the IU and Notre Dame garble
swag.
A lot of cold stuff happening, so we've got big fans in the house. We're going to start off our show by talking about first the what's going on in college basketball. Chad, you've been following that a little bit more closely than I have. What do you got?
I have IU 7-0 in the conference, number 1, 17-3. They won today, which is a 13-game win streak.
Big win against Northwestern.
A lot of people have been saying they haven't played anybody on the streak, but Northwestern's pretty good. I think they got 15 wins, so that's a pretty big win. We're going to have Luke call in.
Okay. We're going to be speaking here shortly to an IU basketball beats analyst. He follows them closely, in fact, almost exclusively. He's a big fan.
Pretty exclusive.
He knows all there is to know in regards to that.
He goes to pretty much every home game, doesn't he?
Yeah, he and his dad have been doing that for a long time. They don't allow the mom to be in the kitchen. In fact, while the game is playing,
That's cool.
they're real superstitious. They've got a whole lot going on.
While we're waiting, Oklahoma, number 1, they won today. Kansas won.
Kings won. Kings are winning in the third quarter.
The game's still going on.
Yeah. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Kings top the Pacers 72-68. Blazers are beating the Lakers 88-68 with 4 minutes left in the third.
Alright, we got it.
Lucas Wade.
Yes, sir.
Luke.
Good evening to you, sir. Good morning, I should say.
Good morning, yeah, definitely. We're just in the morning time.
First of all, that's what we mean by morning. Thanks for joining us on our first ever show of The Late Hit. Built you up a little bit as far as your knowledge here in IU. Big game against Northwestern today. What did you see that maybe they've been working on so far to this point in the season? What did you see come together today?
Well, first off, I just want to say I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Today, I saw a basketball team that is clicking on all cylinders. Defense has improved in the past week, 2 weeks, and that's creating offense. We really spread the defense out, get it moved side to side, drive the lanes, kick it out, we're hitting threes, and we're tough to beat.
Now, I noticed early in the season there was a lot of doubt coming from fan base. What was that about?
Yeah, our fan base has high expectations. You lose a couple games, everybody questions you. That just comes with the territory when it's Indiana basketball. We have the bars raised, and you don't meet up to those. The first couple games, everybody run around like their head's on fire, and that's just fan expectations that sometimes you can't live up to. You can't win them all, but improvement is the key to success this season.
Hey, Luke, this is Habe.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
What do you think IU has to do to get back to the glory days? Obviously, winning a championship would be great, but what about the Final Four, the Elite Eight. How far do they have to get into March Madness to get the fan base back on the wagon and everybody's lighting their heads on fire, like you said?
Well, we need consistency in the month of March. That's something we haven't had recently. I know everybody wants Final Fours every year, but sometimes that's not the case. When you don't have the talent, you can't go that far. This year, we're getting stuff together. Everybody's clicking. We lost James Black. He was a key piece to the puzzle, but that's just made everybody step up, next man up type situation. So I think that's made us a lot better this year, and we have deep expectation. I'd say Elite this year would be a successful year.
Now,
Lucas,
go ahead.
what's up? It's Chad.
Hello, Chad.
So, 13-game win streak, huh, bud?
Yes, sir.
Looking pretty tough.
Did you know that, Luke? Did you know that they had a 13-game win streak?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that we don't look.
I was saying earlier that a lot of people were saying, well, they're not playing anybody during this streak, which, if a couple teams, I guess I could see that, but Northwestern's pretty tough. So
they got some good basketball players. I mean, I'll give you that on a non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
Outside of Duke and, really outside of Duke, we didn't play anybody tough. Notre Dame, that was a tough game. That's turning point of our season. We were down 17, 18 points in the second half. They came back and pulled it out. And I think that was really the turning point. Everybody started clicking, and we started winning. So, but yeah, the schedule, it's Big Ten. You're winning on the road, doesn't matter who it is. Everybody plays well at home. If you look around the league, Nebraska just beat Purdue on the road, I believe.
Didn't see that.
Northwestern 2 nights ago took Maryland down to the wire in overtime. So there's no down night in the Big Ten, especially when you're on the road.
Yeah, I hear you. I got an interesting question for you.
Yes, sir.
Thought of this question all by myself. So not having, you have Yogi obviously, but not having like the Zellers, like the teams when Tom first got there after the first couple of years, when they had all the recruits, the way they're playing, say they go pretty deep, say they go Sweet 16. Is this Tom Crean's best coaching job?
You could argue that because he hasn't had the high profile. We've got Thomas Bryant, he's McDonald's All-American. We do have James Blackman, also McDonald's All-American, and Yogi Ferrell.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had the high-profile class in a few years. But Yogi stayed for Fall Forward. We had James coming back, and we'll probably have him back next year due to the injury. But yeah, he's doing a great job. I've always been a Tom Crean fan. Always does a great job. Yeah, we might not win, but that's not all on coaching. At some point, players have to be responsible for their actions on the court and off the court, for that matter.
I agree.
Speaking of off the court actions, what do you think about this preseason? Some trouble that the guys got into. What do you think about in terms of recruiting?
We got rid of the bad blood. I'd say got them out of there, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. But
you can't be too hard on them. You partied it, are you?
I'm not hard on them all. Just don't get caught. That's all.
Great point.
If you're basically a god on campus, because everybody knows who you are, you can't go out and do that stuff. You got to stay home.
Yeah.
But you can't fault the kid. He's in college. He's living the life right now. You can't fault him for wanting to party a little bit. I don't care how old he is.
He just wants to follow in your footsteps, Lukey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good luck.
Big shoes to fill.
Luke, last question, then we'll let you go, man.
Alrighty.
What's the conference to take down right now?
Well, I'm always going to say the Big Ten.
Big 12. Sorry. Excuse me.
Big 12,
Excuse me there, Luke.
Kansas is slacking a little bit. They're not on top this year. Not yet, anyway.
It's like a 6th place tie for second, but they want to get into there. But yeah, I agree.
I think all the conferences aren't. I mean, there's no dominant conference here, just like there's no dominant team in college basketball, as we've seen, because we've had so many number 1 seeds go down, recrowned. But I'm gonna go Big Ten always, because it's hard to win anywhere. At the Northwesterns, Minnesota, even the lower teams give you a good performance. So
Don't forget about Purdue. I know you love IU, but don't forget about Purdue. They're good this year.
Purdue is they're having a pretty good season. They could even be even better. They got some good big men. Purdue's going to be good. They're going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game. Not looking forward to Purdue.
Indiana's got 4 solid teams in there, so it'll be something to watch.
Oh, yeah.
See what they can do.
Thanks for calling, Luke.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate your time.
We'll
Call
talk
back
to you
anytime,
later.
buddy.
All right.
Always great talking to that guy about college basketball.
Oh, he loves it.
There's
man.
not
He gets into it.
There's not a man more passionate
Yep.
about the cream and the crimson than he and his dad, one of our historians for IU basketball here at the show.
Yeah. I like his point about that there being no dominant team this year. Like Kentucky's not, just outrageous and stuff like that. But I think it's great for the sport because, especially when tournament time comes. I mean, it's always anybody can win, but anybody can really win this year. So
Now, you pointed out a stat to me earlier today. How many losses of top 25 teams this season?
as of Thursday night, when I saw that stat, there was 20 losses combined. The top 25. There's been 5 number ones.
That's insane.
That does
Pretty
not
crazy.
happen every year, folks.
No, it does not. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
But,
that's good. So, something to keep an eye on there. Always the turning of the tide in college basketball this year, especially.
Tons of parity.
Yeah, exactly. We're pulling for our Fighting Irishmen. They played a good game today against
Yes, sir.
Boston College, so we're always keeping our eye on them. Butler as well, IU and Purdue. You do what you do.
I'm a Kansas fan, so you'll always hear me throw in my Big 12 2 cents about them.
Rock chalk this and that. We can let them have it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any swag back here.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to bring some over. Well, when you win
He's
11 straight,
He's keeping it in a safe
when
place.
you win 11 straight Big 12 regular season titles, you got to brag a little bit, okay? 'Cause that's pretty impressive.
I bleed blue and gold, but I'll give Luke a hard time about Purdue. I was born and raised Purdue, and then I got my mind right and became a Notre Dame fan.
Good for you, buddy.
We're not going to have any Purdue followers on here.
No.
You're welcome to leave it.
We love you too,
Purdue. Alrighty, guys, let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to stay in the basketball world. We're going to go to the NBA. Creeping up on the All-Star break, Chad, you have the starting cast for each team. Who do you got?
Yes. The coach is David Blatt. What?
Just
Didn't
kidding.
you just get? No.
It's funny because he's fired.
Got Habe on it for sure.
Which we got to hit on that
We
too.
will hit on that. Starting lineups for the East, we have Kyle Lowry, Dwayne Wade, Paul George, LeBron, and Melo.
Any surprises there for either of you guys?
No, you guys go ahead. I'll chime in later.
It's hard to say. I mean, Wade's old. He's averaging 18 points a game. I mean, I think like him and Melo are pretty much just big name.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought Kyrie Irving could have been a starter over Lowry. Stats pretty similar, but he missed like 24 games.
Right.
So
It's tough to say. Coming off of a
Yeah.
knee injury.
John Wall was in the discussion, but Lowry's good. I think he's a good pick.
He's averaging 20 points a game.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, you can't really argue Paul George. You can't really argue LeBron.
No.
Sure.
Say what you will about LeBron James. I think he's still the best in the league. Which brings us to the West, because we have another conversation coming up about that.
We did.
Go ahead. Who you got
Give us a
starting on the
little
West?
foreshadowing right there. The West is Westbrook, Curry, Cobes,
No surprise.
2-4, Kawhi Leonard, and Durant.
That's a strong squad.
That's a real strong squad. I mean, who's there?
Now let me stop you there because we talked about this on the way in. Chad and I did, and Kobe being in, does he really deserve that All-Star spot? Should they put somebody else in there? And if it's his choice, does that guy that they put in, aside from Kobe, say, "Hey, Kobe, this is a sympathy sympathy game for you. We all know it is.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't perform your greatest the last 2 years, I'd say. Does he give him the nod? Go ahead and start your last All-Star game. Play the first 10, and then enjoy the game. Enjoy the scenery.
I think Kobe's take on this, and I think I understand the guy pretty well at this point in his career. He's going to say, let the boys play.
Exactly.
He's had his shot, and I think he's even expressed that in the last couple of years.
Well, we saw that with the Olympic game.
Yeah, exactly.
I see both sides of it because I can see him being like, whatever. But it's also Kobe. Like, he's one of the most competitive NBA basketball players ever.
Yeah.
Like, remember when he went in and he actually guarded LeBron?
Mm-hmm.
He was like shutting LeBron down in the All-Star game. Like, that was like a huge deal. People don't do that. You don't guard in the All-Star game. But I don't know. I could see it both ways because he's super competitive, but I think the biggest I would rather see someone else in that spot. Who? I don't know. I mean, I guess there's some people you could put in there, and then let them have Kobe start.
Absolutely.
But it's voting, and people are going to vote for Kobe because it was last year, exactly like what you said.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is why is there no centers and power forwards? It's
bizarre.
Taking out that position.
It's irritating. I think with the evolution of the Steph Curry type, shooting threes, little guy, it's just going to phase out. Those big guys are still going to be in there. They're still going to get, what they want.
Don't get me wrong. Like, they're probably better, but DeMarcus Cousins is the leading scorer for centers. Why not start him? He's having a great year.
Yeah, but the demographic that they want for the All-Star game is going to have threes. They're going to have fast running up and down the court, even though it's the All-Star game.
No defense.
No defense at all.
We know that
Zero defense. And a dunk or two. But those guys that can, out on the perimeter, they can dunk just as much. They don't need a guy in the middle in the lane,
Something that we've seen the NBA evolve into, everyone's going small. This is essentially
Look at the Pacers.
Exactly. This is
small and one rim protector.
Yeah, this is their first year going that route, and there was a little bit of preseason drama regarding Paul George. He really wasn't feeling the power forward role. Seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, really.
Obviously.
And they're turning into a pretty effective run and gun team. And you'll hear him say after every loss, we're still learning the system.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Which they are. You got to get used to that. And, new players, especially have a new position like that. But I kind of like him there. I've watched quite a few of the games and kind of like the small, but we don't really have, like how we had David West and Hibbert, we don't have those two giants down there to play there. So if you don't have those guys, if you don't have a Cousins or a Drummond who's a rebound machine, although he can't free throws.
He can't free throws.
What do you mean? 23 in one game?
23 in one game. Yeah.
23 in one game.
It's embarrassing.
That's unbelievable.
But if you don't have that, you might as well, go small, go with what you got, I guess. It is evolving. So.
We had another conversation earlier about who's better, and I kind of touched on this getting into this conversation.
It's no longer Kobe LeBron.
No, it's
how
not.
many times have you had that discussion? Who's better, Kobe LeBron?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not it anymore.
Who are they comparing him to?
What we're facing right now, the inevitable league MVP this year, Steph Curry. Dude shooting lights out. He hit a half-court shot just because he wanted to last night, just for fun against the Pacers. So who's better, Steph Curry or LeBron James?
I think there's a bunch of different ways to answer the question, but if you're asking me who I'm picking, take Curry. He's too good.
Yeah, of course you are. I know you are.
He's scoring from it. He's too good. You cannot guard him. He can't. It's not like he just shoots too. He's a great passer. He's an unbelievable ball handler, and he can drive. He can get to the hoop.
Every time I see him with a man in his face, 5 feet behind the three-point line and chuck it, I say, "Come on! Oh, nice shot." That's how it goes every time.
Yeah, but when he doesn't chuck it up, he jukes him out of his shoes and gets open.
Exactly.
He creates his own shots. That is the difference. Difference.
And he doesn't need very much space.
He looks. If you walk into a bar, let's say we walk into a bar, we see 3 guys sitting at the bar. We see Kobe, we see LeBron, and we see Steph Curry. You're gonna be like, did they ID that Steph Curry, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
He does not look like a basketball player. He looks like a kid that's playing basketball on the street. threw some fancy shoes on, and he's out on the court, and he got a contract, and
he's killer.
He's killer.
He's tearing it up.
Are you kidding me?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But see, people like when you go and look at those. Okay, you saw Larry Bird stats compared to him, and how he has like way more threes. I don't remember exactly what it is.
It's a different type of basketball.
But yeah, but I'm saying then one came out comparing him to Isaiah Thomas being in the league the same amount of years.
Yeah.
His stats at that point, and Isaiah's stats were a lot better. But
And
don't
those-
forget Curry was hurt
Yeah.
his first couple of years.
And those
He
stats.
didn't have a supporting cast like Isaiah Thomas did.
And the Larry Bird stat was strictly 3-pointers. He's made a lot more threes than Larry Bird in Larry's 12-year, 13-year
It's
career.
very deceiving.
And what we're looking at is point guard to point guard. Steph Curry, yeah, what's up, buddy? Steph Curry to Isaiah Thomas. We're looking at steals, we're looking at assists, and we're looking at boards as well. I think is what the stat that we looked at.
Yeah.
So take it for what it is when you look at stuff like that. And back to your point, if we're playing a game of street ball, I'm taking Steph Curry over LeBron. That's just what it is.
Well, and I'm a LeBron. I've always loved LeBron. Always loved him. And I always said LeBron over Kobe. I would just take LeBron. I just thought he was better. But
Yeah. Well, he shares the ball.
yeah, well, and that's what I like about him. He's great at everything. He's great at passing. He's like one of the best. I mean, he's 6'9".
I think LeBron and Steph have the same characteristic. They're transcending. They make the people around them better.
Yeah.
Kobe is a one-man show. He
Yeah.
has been his whole career. Everyone
Scorer.
calls him a ball hog. He's a scorer. We know that. But you can't deny that Steph Curry makes Klay Thompson better.
Yeah.
He makes Izzy better. LeBron, he's working with Love. I mean, there's a lot of work.
I don't
done
think
there.
Curry is the leader that LeBron is yet.
No, he's young. He's still young.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, he is just seeing the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's just now getting the attention that LeBron's been getting his entire career.
And he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
LeBron's been getting that type of attention since he was in high school.
Yeah, I remember watching his high school game.
Yeah.
I remember that yesterday, and he was unbelievable. What I was gonna say is, I don't think he's the same LeBron. He's still LeBron, but I don't think he is quite as dynamic as he was.
Like I
He's
said,
bigger.
I think he's in that point of his career where he wants to start teaching. He's playing, and he's going to play for a long time to come. I think he's going to have a long career still.
Yeah.
But he's teaching now. He's to the point where he wants to pass his knowledge down. He's an historian of the game. He wants to pass his knowledge down to the younger guys and keep that bridge. He wants to build that bridge from one generation to the next.
And get all his coaches fired.
And get all of his coaches fired and then move right into that slot into a coach.
I love
Or
Brown
GM,
Brown.
whatever you want it to be.
I love Brown.
An update on scores, though, with the NBA. We got the Pacers and the Kings with 9 minutes left in the fourth, 84-76, Kings winning. And no surprise here, the Blazers are atop the Lakers with 9 minutes left in the fourth, 101-84.
Very good. Thanks,
They
buddy.
are pretty tough. Rondo's
Yeah, he had
tough.
another triple-double the other night.
He's a stud.
not bad.
He could have gone
We got Jayhawk on our team. That's probably why.
Whoa.
Moving on to the
Yeah.
NFL. I'm sorry, you're not going
Why
to
you
get any
cutting me
love.
off?
I'm sorry, you're not going to give me love here for your boys in blue. Big weekend coming up in the NFL. AFC
is.
Championship in just a few hours now, we can say.
Big game.
And the NFC Championship to follow, I believe.
Pumped about it.
Yeah,
Two great games.
This is
great
the
games.
best part of the year.
exactly. And two great games for two very different reasons. We've got the Sheriff versus Tom Brady.
17.
Sure.
And we've got Cam Newton. And it can't even be just Cam Newton. It's his entire team. The defense got him there
Josh
as well.
Norman.
Josh Norman,
Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly, my man, versus the Arizona Cardinals. And you can't say enough about that team. That is about as well-rounded a team as I've seen in a very long
They're
time.
really good. They have a great defense too.
Yeah,
That's,
I've been digging through all the numbers for all four teams pretty extensively.
yeah, we know you guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've got oodles and oodles and noodles.
Before we get diving deep into this, we'll get a recap of what's going on in the last game, last week, what's coming ahead. We got, like I said, or like you said, Brady versus Manning, number 17, the big one, in Denver, 3:05 on CBS local television.
Watch it.
This could be the last head-to-head game between these two Hall of Famers.
That is
obviously going to be Hall of Fame.
That is the saddest thing. I don't even like thinking about it.
Or
Yeah,
is
it's sad.
it going to be the last? Is it going to be the last game?
I don't know.
Do you really think so?
Never said.
Peyton,
He
Peyton's
never said anything like I'm done.
no.
Peyton is going to
That's
be
it.
40 in March. He's going to be 40 in March. If he wins this game and moves on to play in the Super Bowl and possibly win the Super Bowl, is he going to?
If he wins the Super Bowl, he's done.
If he goes on,
That's how it's gotta
If
be.
he goes past the NFL, or if he wins the Super Bowl and tries to play another season, are we going to start calling him?
Favre.
Favre. Are we going to start calling him Favre?
And I think he's smart enough to understand, as much as he is a competitor, he's a smart guy. And he saw what Favre went through. That was during some of Peyton's best years, when Favre was going through that. And I think he's too proud to go through what Favre went through when he tried to make a comeback.
He has so much more potential to be a coach, a coordinator.
Yeah.
He can go do all that. He can do anything he wants in the NFL. Like Peyton Manning.
He can run.
do whatever he
He's
wants.
a sheriff.
You're
He
right.
walks in, he
He's gotta
takes
make a phone
over.
call.
But does he have Elway in his ear saying, hey, one more year? If we don't get it this year, why not one more year?
I don't know. Maybe Elway's done with him.
Elway is Peyton is in the same position Elway was years ago.
I mean, I don't think Osweiler is like, they're like, oh, well, get out of here, Peyton. We got Brock Osweiler. I mean, he played decent. He looked pretty good. But
Is he the answer moving forward? We don't know, and we don't even know if they're ready to know.
I mean, he didn't do anything bad. He didn't do anything different than Peyton, except for he didn't throw interceptions. Brock Osweiler, he didn't have many interceptions.
well, he ran the offense more how they want to run the offense.
Yeah, Gary Kubiak's got that zone offense where you're under the center. That's not Peyton Manning's game. You can see at the beginning of the year how uncomfortable he was underneath the center. It's just not Peyton. He's the sheriff. He's got to be back. He's got to see everything. He doesn't want to be crouched underneath the center.
And to
That's
play-
what Gary Kubiak's doing. Let the sheriff get in the shotgun,
Yeah.
let him sling.
That's what I think for this weekend. He's going to be like, hey, here's the deal. You take the reins. Don't try to win it by yourself. I'm going to call the plays. I'll give you some plays. You audible out of them. I trust you. I mean, it's Peyton Manning. He's had the keys of the franchise since he walked in the door.
Which would have happened anywhere he went.
Oh,
And Peyton's
yeah.
got a great supporting cast to go with him. Let's see here. As far as rushing for both teams, I don't even really want to touch that much. The Broncos and Patriots, 29th and 30th respectively in the league in rushing. It's abysmal. They're
Injuries, though. You got to
Exactly.
blame it on injuries.
You have to. What we are going to find, in fact, the Broncos rushed for 1,718 yards. The most impressive thing to me so far that I've done digging, Ronnie Hillman, responsible for 863 yards this season. C.J. Anderson, responsible for 720 yards on the ground. To have two guys splitting carries.
Let's be honest. When they came into the NFL, they could have flipped a coin. Like either one
Yeah.
of them either one of them was going to get repetitions. They were going to get what they wanted out of them. In terms of the Broncos, anyway, they're going to get what they want out of them. They're both extremely talented guys coming in. Great college careers, especially Monty Ball.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Who?
Who?
Yeah. Where's he been?
For two guys to combine for almost 1,500 yards, it's pretty strong. So yeah, what Chad and I and Abe and I have been talking about a lot lately is where's this ball game going to head? Obviously, it's going to be in the arm of the quarterback. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. It's not a secret what we're looking for. But what these two guys have gone to in their older years, the dink and the dunk, the throw between the sticks. And I found a couple of things pretty interesting. The Broncos not allowing a whole lot of touchdowns when you throw it short. And the Patriots throwing a whole lot of passes in the sticks. You've got Edelman, you've got Gronk. Can either man be covered one-on-one? No. You can't do it. What do you do? You're a defensive coordinator. How do you do it? Of course, you'd
Chad,
be in the
get down on your
NFL.
knees and you beg for mercy.
Give
That's
me
what you
credit.
do.
Jesus, pray to Allah.
That's what you do.
I mean, you have to tackle them. I mean, I think a lot of their big plays, come from routes that aren't necessarily, they're wide open, they're deep dunks or whatever. I mean, they'll hit Gronk up the seam, but you got to tackle, which, I mean, that's easier said than done.
Open field tackling is the hardest thing to do in the NFL,
It's nice to do,
especially against Rob Gronkowski.
but
He's a
and
tower.
Edelman's
He's quick.
he's a pretty compact little guy there. I mean,
He's Welker. I mean, how it couldn't get much better for Tom Brady. Hey, hey, we're going to send Welker off. Oh, wait, who's this guy? He played quarterback in college?
Yeah.
His name's what? Julian Edelman? Oh, well, let's put him on the slot. What? We got Wes Welker, too, here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Always
come
have
on.
those guys. Oh,
Those white
Tom
guys,
Brady
too.
never has nobody to throw to. Never
Those little white
Yeah,
dudes.
you
that
got
are
that?
quick and
I mean, he never has anybody to throw to, right?
Danny
Randy
Woodhead.
Moss was there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Something else.
they've always got them, man, and they're annoying. Just dink and dunk, and you can't stop it. You can't tackle.
This is the Colts fan coming out in us, so let us
We
let us
are
grab for a moment.
we are all Colts fan. Hayde is also a Vikings fan.
Yeah. No big deal.
Sick
We'll
chairs
write
down. We are huge Colts fan, Peyton Manning fan.
I still love the Colts.
Been there for the whole ride, and love it. Love Andrew Luck. I don't know if we'll talk too much about the Colts and all their little situations.
Maybe next season.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit more in the off season with Andrew Luck's laceration, how that's healing up, and what we're going to look for in the draft, which is something that I want to talk about now, but we don't.
I'll talk about the draft all day.
I know you will. We don't have that kind of time.
But we got this big game coming up.
Exactly. What, Chad? If you were to break down Broncos, Patriots, 5 keys to victory, go.
I have pretty much how you stop the Patriots offense. I mean, there's a few things you got to do. Number one, most importantly, you got to keep them out of the red zone. They're 64% inside the red zone scoring touchdowns. That's not even field goals.
That's nuts.
It's just crazy.
We'll call it the Gronk zone.
The
That's
Gronk's
house.
house.
That's Gronk's house.
Yeah, call it the Gronk's house.
You're not invited.
This year, they're 4th overall in the red zone. They're at 68%. Who's number 1?
In the red zone?
In the red zone?
Carolina.
Touchdown percentage?
Carolina.
Carolina. Got that Cam Newton, Superman.
Let's see.
So you have to keep them out of the red zone because they're going to score. And that 64% is their average from the last 5 years. So they do the same thing every year.
That's crazy.
So,
Score touchdowns and win Super Bowls. What a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how they do it.
Next thing you got to do is knock Brady off his spot. You don't even have to sack him, but there are creatures that have it. They get rid of the ball quick, but if you can get him off of his spot from where he's trying to throw that ball and make him move in that pocket, he's no Aaron Rodgers. Pocket presence is not his thing. Scrambling, not his thing. You ever seen him run?
It's not good looking.
There's a reason he wasn't drafted in the first round.
Yeah. It's a system. Some people call him a system quarterback. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that, but their system is very strict. They don't, they don't run around and try to catch, plays deep and extend the play. So you have to mess their game plan up. And that's by moving him from where he wants to throw the ball.
Sure.
To that point, another crazy stat that fits that perfectly. Again, ranked 1 and 2, respectively, in sacks. Denver number 1 at taking the quarterback down behind line of scrimmage at 52 sacks on the season. New England at 49. So if there's going to be one team that's going to get Brady off his spot, Denver Broncos are built to do it.
Let me punch this in real fast. The offensive line of the Patriots is lackluster at best.
Oh.
They have got 7 different guys in there all season long.
Yeah, now they're going up against that D-line.
Blindside tackle was out early. There's not a lot of chemistry there. You got to think those 5 down linemen have got to be like this,
Mm-hmm.
down in the trenches. They've got guys swapping in, guys playing where they don't usually play. He's got to be getting that ball out in under 2 seconds like he has been all season long.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, he has to, but that pass rush is mean. That's
Yeah.
Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware.
That's
They're coming.
oh yeah, they're coming hard, and they have the corners to be able to press up on them and at least try to give them time to get to him and mess that
Absolutely.
spot up. Because Brady, that's when he'll throw picks, and that's when you move him off that spot. I'm telling you.
I think worst case scenario, Aqib Talib takes 2 fingers, puts them in your eyes.
Yeah, poke his eyes out.
Hey,
let's not
that's
forget-
the third key. to
Let's
victory.
not forget where Talib came from. He came from the Patriots. He may
Yeah.
know something that they don't know. He may have taken something with him.
Might know.
He's in there telling these guys what to expect, what to listen for. Could be. I think it's going to be an interesting game. A lot of people say that it's going to be a blowout. The Patriots
Favored by
are going
3.
to come over. The Patriots are going to come over and they're going to win and finally get a Tom Brady win in Denver. Tom Brady is 0-2 in the playoffs in Denver. He's always playing at home.
Which is crazy that he's never won in Denver. It's the only place he's never won, right?
Something
Pretty
like that,
sure.
yeah. In the playoffs, that is. In the regular season, he's won.
He's won 2 games in his career in Denver,
2 games in his career in Denver. That's
which is still pretty slim. But he doesn't play there a lot.
They don't play there a
Let's be
lot. They
honest.
play, I'd say if in a 5-year span they'll play there 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's including playoffs, so they may not get in there in the playoffs.
I know that this isn't true, but it feels like Peyton Manning has never beaten Tom Brady.
He's actually 11. Brady is actually 11-5 against Manning.
I don't like the 11 against Manning, but that goes to who you think's better, Tom
Yeah.
Brady, Peyton Manning. Like, it's a team game. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the ultimate team sport.
yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the fact that, and it's a fact. It's a stat that he's beat him that many times.
Sure.
But
You can't. Numbers don't lie.
But can you agree with me as a Peyton fan? It just feels like Peyton has never beaten.
if you're a Colts fan, you hate playing him.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like that.
That is
Feels like
the-
we've never won against
That's
him.
the one game on the schedule every year that I think, dear God.
No, it's going to be.
Let's just fast forward to the result.
Yeah, it's going to be prime time every year.
Yeah.
Every year that they're playing together, it's going to be prime time. Big lights, marquee.
But and lately, when it's been those 2 head-to-head, it hasn't even really been like Brady. They've rained all over us, but everybody always does.
True.
But it's mostly been like that. It's not like Brady throws 7 touchdowns against Peyton
Well,
Manning every
was it
time.
Jonah
I'm glad you brought that up because Brady has won the last 2 in the postseason, both in conference championships against Manning, but they were playing in New England. He's a homer. The most recent game was 2 years ago this week, 26-16 victory in Denver, where Manning threw for 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Brady, that same game, went 277 yards. Pretty mediocre for Brady.
Yeah.
1 touchdown in the air, 1 on the ground, which we talked about how much he can't run.
Quarterback
He'll
sneak.
My
sneak it.
guess is he was on the 1-inch line.
Oh, he-
I think he's one of the best at
Yeah.
the quarterback sneak.
He's long. He's a big
I'm
quarterback.
going to get up there quick. Hike the ball quick.
The Broncos held the Patriots that day to 320 total yards. It's pretty strong.
It's a good defense, man. I don't know. I hope they do it. I think they definitely can. Like I said, I think the Patriots are favored by 3. You might need to check me on that. I'm
No,
pretty
you're right.
sure it's 3.
Fact check me. We gotta write that song. I'm sorry. Feel a little squirrely in here in the middle.
But isn't this is why the NFL is the greatest sport ever?
Yeah.
Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady for
What-
one last shot.
They're gonna make a movie about
It's
that.
a Super Bowl.
Someday they're gonna make. Depending on how this weekend goes. If Brady wins, okay, cool. Let's move
Imagine
on.
that.
If Peyton Manning wins, they're gonna make a movie about how he walked out down the Sunset Strip into the freaking beauty of retirement.
Who's playing Peyton Manning in the movie?
Who's
He probably play himself. Brad Pitt.
No, it's gonna be Rudy 2, The Reckoning.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Should make that.
I'm done. Write that down. Call me agent.
Do you think Eli or maybe Koopa Manning will play Peyton Manning in a Manning movie?
Lord willing. I often say that Cooper is my favorite. I'm a big fan of the wide receiver position, and
He's got a small highlight reel.
Yeah, real small.
Yeah.
Does he
Okay.
have a highlight reel?
Yeah. Well,
in high school, he got hurt. It was a back injury.
Yeah, we should make fun of it. That was
Yeah, that's
detrimental to his to his health. But it's true. He
Peyton,
was
I know
great.
you're watching. You're actually my favorite. I love you too, Coop. Eli,
Yeah, we're sorry. We weren't making fun of your brother. We love you.
And we'll see you Monday for dinner, though.
call your mother.
Call your mother.
We could spend all day talking about that matchup, but
Right.
there is another one happening. I don't know if you guys realize.
Sunday
Sure you do.
night.
Is it Sunday night game?
It's the Sunday night game at 6:40 on Fox. The NFC Championship will be the first first playoff game between 2 Heisman winners.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
overall,
crazy that
that's
has never
surprising.
happened.
Yeah, surprising that it hasn't happened yet. Palmer finished the season with a career high 35 touchdowns, and a 104.6 QBR. Led Arizona to a 14-3 league record. League high 408.3 yards per game in the NFC West title.
Crazy stuff.
Hell of a year. Yeah, hell of a year.
Yeah, and you know what? There are a lot of Cam haters this season. I know you were a big fan. Where's he at? There he is. Cam Newton.
Come on.
Came from Swag de la Chad.
Dab on.
Don't do that. We were talking about this. I don't understand the dab. I don't know what it means. I hear it's a song.
There's nothing to understand.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally nothing.
It's got to mean something.
It doesn't mean nothing.
Is it a
not
song?
to my knowledge.
It
It's
is a
just like a
song.
dance.
It's a
It's like a song, a dance.
But there's a
to
lot more
song.
to it than the coughing and
Oh,
the
yeah, I mean, you can do all
elbow.
kinds of things. I mean, I can show you all you want.
Oh,
Jeez.
I'm out.
We're going to get a censor bar on that.
Holy cow. So guys, what
Made that up on the spot. Too,
right there,
It
call
wasn't
his
bad.
agent.
It wasn't bad.
Get him an agent. You know, I started doing a lot of digging on these two teams also as far as the passing game goes. But what I'm most interested in is the rushing attack for these teams. Let me take a look here at what I got. Okay, when you put these two teams on paper, in rushing, they rank 2nd and 8th, Panthers to Cardinals. I didn't realize the Cardinals ran the ball that well this year, but they came up 8th in the league.
I think Chris Johnson.
Correct.
Chris Johnson was having a hell of a year till he got hurt.
He hit the fountain of youth. That's what he did in the
Oh.
offseason. Goodness. Where'd he come from?
His name's Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
He's got the special water.
That is true. Bruce Arians is a stud. If you get a chance, check out the A Coaching Life on NFL Network.
Mhm.
Great documentary on him.
It's almost like he was an interim coach somewhere before he went to Arizona.
Yeah, where was
Where
that?
was that? Oops.
Somebody.
Now I remember.
Yeah. Oh wait, it was in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great year.
Also,
I think he really opened everybody's eyes.
Shouldn't let him go.
Yeah.
something I got to get off my chest here briefly while we're talking about Indianapolis. I ran into Chuck Pagano in the Atlanta airport. I don't know if I told either one of you.
Really? No, he didn't.
I did not know. This is breaking news.
I went to Miami for a wedding last March. Flew back on my way through. Had a layover in Atlanta. Picking up. No, I was checking my flight on the screen. I look over. Chuck Pagano's next to me, and I'm thinking, no way. But of course, he said, "Hope you don't miss your flight." This kid, he's a heck of a ball player. He didn't say any of that. I said, I looked at him. I said, "Hey man, do you care if I get your picture?" And he said,
No.
"Sorry, I'm running a little behind." I'm like, "Okay, never mind then."
Thank you.
He really said
He
that
said
to you?
no.
He's a busy man.
I mean, get off his back, man. He's just trying to go to the airport.
I wanted to say, but I'm a Colts fan. I love it.
That's why I took a picture of him.
Yeah.
I should have said, "Too bad."
Just selfie on
You
him.
mind?
Dab in the picture.
See, there we go back to that. But when they say in the song, "Dab," was it "Dab on them"?
I don't even know. I heard the song like one time.
It's got to mean
We'll
something.
have to look that up.
Okay, back to the rushing
comment
attack.
below if you know
If
what
you know what
dab
it is,
means.
tweet at us.
And we're not talking
Yeah.
about marijuana.
Tweet at the Late Hit 317 on Twitter.
Hashtag
the
Late Hit.
Hashtag Late Hit Zone,
Which is what we're calling this place.
our gorgeous set, decorated hours ago by the three lovely gentlemen here.
Hello, Kitty.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.com. The Late Hit Sports.
It sounded like my mom. Jamie saying marijuana.
We're not talking
about marijuana, guys.
None of that
None of
wacky
that-
tobacco.
None of that green grass.
I'm gonna live where the green grass grows.
Easy there, Kenny. I don't even know who that is.
That's pretty good. Shit down.
Call his agent. Yeah, we all got
yeah.
something. Let's see. Both teams pretty close in yards per carry at 4.3, 4.2. Panthers have the edge there. The defense, though, is something that I want to talk about also. We mentioned Luke Kuechly. Norman is your man. The rushing defense also pretty close. Panthers to Cardinals, they rank 4th and 6th, respectively.
Two really good defenses.
Absolutely.
Very good. Full of names. Full of big
Oh,
names.
yeah,
I think
full
it sucks that Tyrann Matthew's out because
He's a honey
that's a
badger.
big player to lose.
Yeah, he's had a heck of a year.
Him and his brother Patrick Peterson, they are a force to be reckoned with.
Are they actually brothers?
No relation there, but you know what I mean. The LSU boys, right?
Go Tigers with an EAUX.
You gotta love that though in the NFL. Guys get back together,
Oh, yeah.
and it's chemistry. I gotta plug this for my Vikings. You got the two outside linebackers. God, their names are slipping my mind right now. But they were roommates in college at UCLA. They play together, and I mean that's a young defense in Minnesota. They made
Anthony
it known.
Barr and
Anthony Barr
yeah.
and Eric Kendrickson, I think. We'll
Speak-
check on that. and get
Speaking
back to
of
you.
defense in Minnesota, Harrison Smith.
Oh,
Love you.
yeah.
Go Irish.
We've realized here lately that the Minnesota Vikings have a farm system in a place called South Bend, Indiana, where the
Ever heard of it?
Fighting Irish from Notre Dame play. They pretty much just funnel all of their players into the Minnesota Vikings. That has nothing to do with my fandom. My dad was born and
I didn't
raised
even
in
think of that.
Minnesota. Yeah, my dad was born and raised in Minnesota, but you gotta love the Notre Dame love in Minnesota.
I like Rudolph a lot.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph, Harrison Smith,
Robert
Robert Blandon.
They're smart.
Yeah.
Draft from the right team.
Yeah.
They're smart.
Back to the more important.
Yeah, back to the game.
Sorry.
Back on defense, when we're talking about both teams getting the ball in the air, defensively, I think it's going to come down to one thing, and that is getting to the quarterback, like we talked about.
How about not blowing a lead in the fourth quarter?
That'd be nice. That probably wouldn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
Almost one.
The Panthers recorded 44 sacks on the season to Arizona's 36. So they have the slight edge there. It's no secret they like to not give the quarterback a whole lot of time in Carolina. Yeah.
Cam threw a league-high 18 passes for touchdowns in blitz situations this season. And without the Honey Badger this year, as we mentioned before, it's going to be hard for Arizona to get to Super Cam.
Yeah.
And that shows how much he's grown as a national
Absolutely.
quarterback.
Absolutely.
Being able to read that and all that.
Ron Rivera has done a great job with that team in the
Yeah.
last 3 or 4 years. They don't call him Riverboat Ron for no reason. He's going to play it conservative. The first 2 years, let Cam learn, play off of your running game, play off of your defense, and now we've seen Cam blossom into the guy that he is. He's going to be fighting with Carson Palmer for MVP votes this year.
I think it was my good friend Kenny Rogers that said, you got to know when to hold him.
Know when to fold him.
Yep. Know when to So if we're not getting to the quarterback, obviously we're going to get the ball off. And here's where it really starts to make a little bit of sense to me. And we're going to talk about picks here in a minute. You're not going to like it.
I don't like it already.
In terms of passing offense, Arizona ranks second in the league in passing offense. Carolina Panthers rank 24th. Both teams boasting 35 touchdowns apiece. Carson Palmer, though, throwing for 62.8% on the year, only sacked 27 times all season. The thing that kind of throws me off, though, Cam only threw 10 interceptions to Carson's 13. So I don't know if I would let that pass ranking between these two teams really get in my way of picking them. But
If you're picking the winner here, let me throw in a stat of the day. We got this before we started. Larry Fitzgerald's career drops for the Arizona Cardinals. In his career of 12 years, he has only dropped the ball targeted to him, thrown to him, 24 times. That is outstanding.
That's stupid.
He has only had one drop this year. That is the stat of the day, hands down.
And I think what it is having a guy like Michael Floyd next to him.
Yeah.
Where did he go to college?
You know what? I think he went to college at
Oh, it was Notre Dame.
It was Notre Dame, right?
Hey!
I was going to say Purdue. That's an insane stat.
That is crazy.
But
That's crazy.
he's, in my opinion, he's one of the best wide receivers ever.
Yeah, he's got the most sure hands.
He's
Obviously.
the best blocking wide receiver in the NFL, and I'll argue that until
And now having him in that slot like that,
Oh God! Do you see that
Dude,
shovel
he's-
pass this weekend or last weekend? Come on. He had a what was it? Let me see here.
75. Is that the one that went for 75 yards?
Yeah.
Against Green Bay. Derek, I'm sorry if you're watching this, buddy. Derek is a big Green Bay Packers fan.
Let's not
Was it
forget
not that game?
very last, but
in to set up overtime. Let's see. Last week Palmer threw 3 TDs in last week's 26-20 divisional playoff win over Green Bay, but not before Aaron Rodgers converted 4th and 20 for 60 yards with 55 seconds left. That's not it. He threw a 41-yard he threw a 41-yard Hail Mary to send the game into overtime. Here's where it's important. Palmer, He's got a little rocket of his own. He's old, but he's still got a rocket.
Yeah.
He chucked a 75-yard catch and run to Larry Fitzgerald to set up a shovel pass, also to Larry Fitzgerald, which I mentioned before, that won the game in 3 plays in a wild and somewhat controversial overtime. Do you know why it was controversial?
Tell me.
I did.
Because between regulation and overtime, there's something that's called a coin toss. But
yes.
the referee failed to toss the coin, which is literally what it's called, a coin toss. He did a coin flop. He just kind of chucked it in the air and it came down.
Straight down, right?
Arizona won that toss, but obviously they wanted a retoss. Arizona won it anyway.
The coin
They knew right off the bat, the players did. Right off the bat, that coin didn't flip
Yeah,
and
that
that it
was-
had to split. They knew that.
That was ugly. That just tops off the referee's bad year.
They're human,
2015
man.
was the year of the ref. I don't care if they're human or not. This
Don't
is
be
a horrible
okay.
season.
You know what? You can rag on them for bad penalties, for stupid calls, but get off the man's back on the coin flip. No, it was cold.
Come on. It was cold. What kind of excuse is that?
I don't know.
They're playing in -6 degrees in Minnesota, and they're still flipping coins out there all day long.
The ref couldn't even speak during that game. It wasn't awful.
Did you see what was his name? Coach Grant, Bud Grant, walked out there with a T-shirt on.
Coach
Oh yeah. Well, how old is he? Like
100 years old. It doesn't matter how old he
Yeah.
is. He was in there in a T-shirt, and it was ugly. He was blue.
They also there was a lot of controversial calls and no calls
Yeah.
in that game too.
That, to my point.
Right before they hit the big pass, not the Hail Mary touchdown, but that other Hail Mary was an
What, the
insane
41-yard
throw
yeah.
by Rodgers.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Well, he
but the
scrambled
one
around for
before
a
that, it was pass interference, and they didn't call it.
Yeah, you're right.
And then they had another lucky play right after that. But if they wouldn't have caught that, it would have ended on that. That would have been awful.
What do you
It was
guys
a terrible
think
call.
about a substitute system for refs? So the ref comes in. This could be in any sport. Umpires in baseball, umpires in basketball, refs in football.
I think I've heard this theory. But go on.
They have the refs. You know what? You have like 6 refs. I think.
Yeah.
A couple of line
On your
judges,
team.
head ref in a crew.
Yeah, a
In
crew we'll call it.
They come out to the game, they ref the game. What if we get such a bad call and that team from New York, the head ref in New York, he says, "Man, that was a terrible call. Bring in your substitute." And you get benched. You get benched just like a player. They've got a group of 6 refs that have watched the game from the sidelines. They know the pace of the game. They know what calls have been called, what haven't been called, what they're letting slide, what they're enforcing. They bring in a substitute ref. What do you guys think?
I think if you're not thinking about it already, we got to create a platform for a fantasy referee. Sub them in, start them, draft them early,
I've never heard that
pick them
before.
late.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
Oh man.
I get it, but you're honestly telling me that like the refs aren't trying to make the best call.
No, you're right.
I mean,
But the thing is, we don't know what a call or what a catch is anymore.
I have no idea what a catch is. I really don't.
How many times?
I have no idea.
How many times have you
I
heard
don't even
that
know
this
how to
year?
catch it.
How many times have you heard that this year in a press conference or wherever? I don't know what a catch is. How many times do we have to say that before the NFL gets it? That it's 2 feet in, controlling the ball. If you fall
All the
on
way
ground-
through.
yeah. What's this? A football move? What's that when you're falling off in the end zone or on the sidelines? What's a football move when you're on the sidelines? What is that? You have to pick up the ball. You have to keep the ball in your hand and hand it to the ref. Is that what a catch is now? Who knows?
I don't know.
I get heated on this type of discussion because it's impossible to sit and watch these games and
Well, it
think.
can take away great plays.
Yeah, it can take away. It's a game changer. Now TV has ruined that because we have replay, and those guys they're human. I understand that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
They're human, but
And it's in the heat of the moment in a big game.
in the heat of the moment,
It's
and most of these calls are judgment calls. They're
Yeah.
not black and white. There is a gray area, but how big is this gray area going to get before we just put our foot down and say this is a catch? That is not a catch.
I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. Before you blow a gasket, guys, let's pick them. I'm going to start with Habe. I'm going to start with you, I think.
Why should I? Hey,
It's because I'm better.
Because I said I'm going to start with Hay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap. Hay, we'll start with Denver, New England. Give me the winner and the score.
Do you have a coin to flip? Or a coin to flop? Whatever.
No, I don't.
It's too cold.
It's really
It's
too
actually.
cold. Yeah.
You should feel my fingertips. I know. You get a space heater down
You can't lie. It's hard to pick against Belichick and Tom Brady, whether you think they're cheaters or whether you think they're just talented guys. It's a chess match every time they play. Peyton, I would love to see him go out now because I think it's time to retire. That's just my personal opinion. But to get on to the point, I think that the Broncos are going to win, and it's going to be close. We're talking 27 to 31. Close enough.
here. It's funny you say that. I'm going to go ahead and go since, because I want you to go last.
I'd let you go.
What about the other game? Are we going?
We're going this
Okay.
game first.
All
Did you
right.
say we're going to
All
like
right.
this or
I'm
something?
more excited about.
No,
the
that was
game.
about Steph Curry, I think. No, that was about Cam Newton. We'll get to that in a minute. So,
What's your pick?
actually, you might like it after all. I don't know. We'll flop a coin.
No
AFC
catches.
AFC Championship game. I'm gonna go with the defense on this. I'm taking Denver.
Solid picks,
See what I'm
boys.
saying? And it's funny you said 27-31. In my mind, I had them winning 27-30. I think that Denver is going to make a crucial stop when it counts and win the football game. And I want Peyton to win a Super Bowl. He can't win a Super Bowl if they lose this game. So there you go. Denver takes it with their defense.
I agree. I think it is going to be, at least I hope, they're going to disrupt Tom, disrupt the system. I think they're going to listen to what I said about my points to victory, knock Tom Brady off of his spot. And that's how you beat him. The pass rush is good. The offensive line sucks. I think it's going to be 24-20. I think the Pats are going to have one last chance to try to get down there, and it's just not going to happen. But I think they're going to pull it off. I really do.
I agree with that. I think it's going to come down to
Please.
last play, last drive.
It has to.
whatever it may be.
The game is already too dramatic to be a blowout. Chad, we're going to start with you this time.
We're going to start with A.
Coming back around.
You know what? We are going to start with Hay.
No,
We're gonna
No, let him go. We'll flop a coin.
I love that phrase. Flop a coin. NFC Championship game. Arizona, Carolina. Go.
Check my stats. I believe that it's Cam Newton's year. The defense, really good. Cardinals struggled against the Packers defense, which not a terrible defense, but not as good as people may think. Carson did not play well at all. If he plays like that against the Panthers, they might blow him out.
Last week was a mess.
Do
you think that has anything to do with the Bengals? Bengals blood in it? You know, playing lackluster in the.
He
playoffs?
wanted to lose bad.
He wanted.
He was like trying to lose.
He was. He was trying to put this team in a bad position.
Yeah.
He's a different animal now. He's got to move forward. Flap his wings.
Although I do like Carson a lot. I like the Cardinals a lot. I think either one of them could win the Super Bowl. I think they're both really good.
What's the
I'm
score?
really excited for that game. I don't know that score. 28-21. Panthers.
Okay.
Panthers are going to do it. Hey, we'll go to you.
No, I was going to go to Hay anyway.
No, I'm passing it off to Matt. I want to hear
Okay.
what you have to say.
You know what? I think I'm going to take Carolina also. And I think it's going to come down to the better defense. And I know I said that about the last game, but I think it rings true. Defense wins championships.
It's very true.
It's proven. It's scientific fact. Call your doctor. Get a prescription.
Also, let me interrupt you for a second. Defense wins championships, but no team wins a championship without a great quarterback.
That's true.
It doesn't happen anymore. And I think Cam is great now, and I think Carson had a great season, but he played pretty bad.
Give it to me one time. There it is.
That
You gotta quit with that shit.
Matt, what's the score?
I'm taking Carolina 24-14.
Well, I guess that leaves it to me. And I am the only one that is going off the grid here. And I am taking the Arizona Cardinals.
Guys, it's been a great show. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think that I think their defense is going to come to play. I think Larry Fitzgerald is going to have a amazing game. I think he's going to
playoff killer.
He's going to stay in that slot. He's going to. It's going to be beautiful. He's going to play in that slot. It's going to be real conservative. They're only going to throw to him when they have to. But to get to the point, I think Arizona is going to win in a very close game again. It's going to be a low-scoring game with those defenses. It's going to be 17-13.
Okay. Kind of disappointed you mentioned a victory for Arizona and didn't even bring up Michael Floyd, our Golden Domer.
Okay, if you want me to bring it in,
Michael Floyd's gonna have 7 touchdowns. You know what I want to see? I want to see Larry Fitzgerald's playoff stats.
Playoffs?
Because
Talking about
he kills in the playoffs. Always says.
that is
He's a
true.
monster.
If you guys have playoff stats for Larry Fitzgerald, don't forget to email us at thelatehitsports@gmail.com.
COM.
Subscribe to
Nice spell.
YouTube.
Crazy stat before we head on out of here. Between the two quarterbacks, Peyton and Tom, I want to say, please don't hold me to it, but I think I'm within one. They have won 34 playoff games combined. The quarterbacks in the other game, Carson and Cam, have won 3 playoff games combined.
Wow.
So it's a tale of 2 different games there, folks. You guys, a good show. This is our first one, like I said. I think it went pretty well. I had a good time. Thanks again to Luke for calling in. All of our other friends that we made fun of. Sorry again, Derek, for bringing up the Packers game. But gentlemen, nice work. I had a lot of fun. Let's
It was
do it
nice
again.
meeting you?
Yeah, I mean
Nice
we've
meeting.
met before.
Great fun. Feel free to comment.
I don't know.
Any comments you want. You can hate on us if you want. We're pretty vocal. We'll respond to you. Probably rip you a new one.
Good luck, bub.
But feel free to comment. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Look us up.
That's youtube.com at the Late Hit Sports.
No, I don't think.
Or you
YouTube
can
works
just
like
push subscribe right under this video that you're
that. Just
watching
do
right
subscribe. Do follow
now.
us.
Either way you want to do it.
Do follow us on Twitter at the Late Hit 317. Hashtag the Late Hit. Hashtag Late Hit Zone, which is where we are. Hey, hit us with some outro music. A little, get the lead in us a little bit. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. Like Chad said, feel free to comment. Give us hell if you have to. We'll bring it right back to you. And tune in next week. We'll be here. We're going to try to do every Saturday. Abe's married and he has
Is
10.
Saturday the day we started?
I mean, it turned into Sunday.
Or Sunday?
I mean, it's like 12:03 we started.
Whatever you guys want to do.
He's married with 9 kids, so we're really on his schedule. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're out.
Thank you, America.